Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're looking at something, something that really challenges what you might think a bank is. We've been digging into some incredible data about an institution that's, frankly, operating on a scale that's hard to comprehend.
It really is.
We're talking about the State Bank of India, SBI.
Right.
And our goal today, our sort of mission for this deep dive, is to unpack why it feels less like just a bank and more like, well, almost like its own economic nation.
That's a great way to put it.
Because the numbers we've found are pretty staggering. Get ready.
And it's crucial, I think, to look beyond just the financial figures here. What we're really exploring is economic power, its reach, its impact on society. It's so vast, it almost does blur that line, between a bank and maybe even a country.
Definitely. It's about understanding something fundamental about scale.
Right. This is more than just spreadsheets. It's about a force shaping millions of lives and, the global economy, too.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the number that first made us both go, whoa.
Yeah, the balance sheet.
Yeah.
Exactly. As of July 2025, SBI's balance sheet hit 66 trillion Indian rupees.
66 trillion.
Which, for a global perspective, is roughly 0.77 trillion US dollars. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly $800 billion.
Managed by one single bank. It's immense.
But here's where it gets, truly mind-bending. This isn't just big for India. That number, that financial weight, it's bigger than the entire annual economic output, the GDP, of 175 countries.
175 nations.
Yeah. Imagine that. A bank with more economic, muscle than most sovereign countries.
It's like, hypothetically, it could buy the entire economy of Luxembourg or Iceland.
And still have money left over for, a very nice coffee.
Exactly. It just challenges how you think about financial power.
It really does.
And putting that in the global banking context is also revealing. It ranks SBI 43rd globally by balance sheet size and 45th by total assets.
So a major world player. Absolutely. Which raises some big questions, doesn't it? Like, what does it really mean when one financial institution has the economic heft of so many countries combined? For regulation, for stability?
For everything, really. It forces you to think differently.
It really does. We need new ways to maybe frame that kind of systemic importance.
That's a really powerful point. So, okay, we've seen the sheer financial size. But what about the people? Who banks there?
The customer base. That's almost even more staggering in some ways.
It is. We found SBI serves 53 crore customers. Now, for listeners outside India, a crore is 10 million.
So 530 million people.
530 million individual customers. 500 million.
Just wrap your head around that number for a moment.
And this is the kicker. This really drives home that country idea we talked about. If SBI were a country, just based on its customer numbers, it'd be the third largest country in the world by population.
Wow.
Right behind India itself and China. Bigger than the entire population of the United States.
Bigger than the U.S.
It's like saying, yeah, we have more customers than America has citizens. It changes the whole idea of what a bank is, doesn't it? It's this huge ecosystem.
The human scale is just extraordinary. When you think about 530 million people, it's clear this isn't just a bank anymore. It's like a fundamental part of society.
Woven into daily life.
Exactly. Providing essential financial services, infrastructure, really, to this incredibly diverse group of people, urban, rural, everything. The logistics alone.
Must be immense.
And the responsibility that comes with serving that many people, ensuring access, tailoring things. It's a massive undertaking.
Which leads perfectly into its growth story. Because this didn't happen overnight.
Not at all.
Let's trace that journey. We looked back to 1955. SBI started then with what seemed like a pretty modest capital base, 5 crore rupees.
5 crore. Seems tiny now.
Right. Fast forward to March 2025. We already mentioned the huge balance sheet, but let's look at some specifics to really feel that exponential leap. Deposits. Back in 1955, they had about 211 crore rupees. Today, it's 53 lakh 82,000. 190 crore rupees.
53 trillion rupees in deposits.
Yep. That's a 25,500-fold increase.
25,000 times.
Can you imagine if your savings grew like that? You wouldn't be worrying about bills. You'd be like naming newly discovered planets.
Huh. Maybe.
Then look at advances the loans they've given out. Started at about 116 crore. Now, 41 lakh 63,312 crore.
41 trillion in loans.
Which is, get this, a 35,800-fold increase.
35,800 times. It's staggering.
It's like lending a friend $100 in 55, and now they owe you, what, 3.5 million? Don't try that.
Please don't. But it shows this wasn't just growth in one area. It points to, a really sustained vision, adapting over decades,
That was
building strength.
becoming a fortress.
A financial fortress, exactly. And other metrics show the same thing. Reserves and surplus, up 69,300 times.
69,000.
Yeah. Income, up over 61,600 times. It's across the board. It shows how deeply embedded it became in the economy, a real pillar.
So, okay, massive numbers, huge customer base, incredible growth. What does this actually do for the economy? For India?
Right, because numbers this big have real-world consequences. They create ripples.
Huge ripples. We found that in fiscal year 2025, SBI contributed about 16% to India's GDP.
16% from one entity.
That's a massive slice of the national economic pie. It's not just playing along, it's actively, driving the bus.
Shaping the entire economic landscape.
And it's not just within India either. On the world stage, SBI added about 1.1% to global GDP.
Which works out to around $44 billion US.
$44 billion. Plus its fiscal role, it pays about 2.5% of India's total corporate income tax.
So it's not just a bank, it's a core economic engine.
Exactly. Powering growth, providing stability, generating significant government revenue.
Precisely. It's more than a participant, it's a critical driver. It influences policy, supports huge projects, underpins stability. Its sheer size makes it indispensable nationally and increasingly internationally. But that influence also comes with huge responsibilities, right? And unique challenges, systemic risk, regulation. When you're that intertwined with a nation's economy, your health matters. A lot.
Absolutely. Now, beyond these massive economic figures, we also saw SBI playing a huge role in financial inclusion, reaching people who were left out before.
Yes, this is a really important dimension.
We're talking 15 crore Yandan accounts. That's 150 million accounts under India's big push to bank the unbanked.
Bringing formal banking to millions, often in very remote areas, that's empowering.
Totally. And it's not just bank accounts. Millions are enrolled in social safety nets through SBI, like the PM Suraksha Bima Yojana. It's a low-cost accident insurance. 14.6 crore people enrolled through them.
146 million.
Then there's PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, affordable life insurance, another 6.7 crore people.
67 million.
And the Atal Pension Yojana, a government pension scheme, 1.73 crore participants via SBI.
So nearly 17 million people getting pensions set up. It shows they're providing foundational security, not just transactions.
It really does.
And it's that combination, isn't it? That huge physical reach into communities blended with really advanced digital tools. That's how they manage this.
Right.
It makes you think about what banking can be. How do you leverage that network, that tech, to truly empower hundreds of millions?
Yeah.
It's about access, relevance, impact, as much as profit?
A different kind of model, maybe.
Potentially, yeah. A powerful mechanism for bringing people into the economy.
And speaking of digital, you mentioned the tools. The Yono App, their main digital platform, it has 8.8 crore registrations. That's 88 million users.
88 million.
And here's another one of those comparisons that just stops you in your tracks. If the Yono App's users formed their own country, it would be the 18th most populous nation on Earth.
Get out. 18th.
Yes. Bigger than Australia, bigger than Canada. Just the app users.
Wow. That's a virtual nation right there.
A virtual nation of banking enthusiasts. It's incredible.
That digital reach is phenomenal.
And finally, let's just quickly paint a picture of the physical side, the actual infrastructure and people making this work.
The bricks and mortar and the teams.
Exactly. We're talking almost 23,000 branches across India. 22,937 to be precise. That's 49 times more than in 1955.
An incredible network spread.
Plus 244 offices overseas and for access. 64,000 ATMs, 78,000 customer service points. Basically, you can find SBI almost anywhere.
Mumbai, Manhattan, everywhere in between.
And the people power. SBI employs over 236,000 people.
Enough to fill a small city.
Right. A whole city working for the bank. And we noticed nearly 28% of them are women, which is significant for such a large institution.
Shows a commitment to diversity within that massive structure.
It really feels like this whole self-contained world, powered by people and tech.
And when you put all that together, the physical network, the human capital, the digital dominance, it absolutely confirms SBI's position. Not just a regional powerhouse, but a true global banking player.
Among the elite.
Definitely. It ranks up there consistently. Its influence goes way beyond India, impacting global finance and trade. Its decisions matter everywhere.
So, summing it all up,
Yeah.
what we've really seen in this deep dive is that SBI is just different.
Yeah,
It's not your average bank.
not even close.
It's a financial giant, a colossus, bigger than most countries, serving more people than nations like the U.S., driving huge parts of India's economy and impacting the global one, too.
And all from that tiny start back in 1955. 5 crore rupees.
It's an almost unbelievable story of growth and scale, shaping lives, shaping economies.
So maybe the thought to leave with is this. Next time you think about big banks, or even the size of countries, remember the State Bank of India. It really does expand the definition of what a financial institution can become.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other entities are out there, companies, platforms, organizations operating quietly on a nation-like scale? Their true influence may be still hidden, just waiting to be understood.
That's a fascinating question. That definitely makes you want to keep looking to find those other hidden giants shaping our world. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.